Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra from Crafts of Ever After, and welcome to an incredibly special video today, because today will be part one of a look inside the Amigurumi World Tour 2024 US book. Now, for those of you that have recently joined and have no idea what the Amigurumi World Tour is, I will give a quick recap. In April-May of 2024, I had this crazy idea to get an amigurumi book, send it around the world to different people. So I send it to one person, they send it to the next, up until all the patterns in the specific book is made, and then the book will return to me. I wanted to do a collab that does not only involve other YouTube channels, but some of the lovely subscribers in the community as well. So the book I decided on, because I had to take into account different skill levels of amigurumi makers in the community. And the book, obviously, as you would have seen, that I decided on was Whimsical Stitches. Now, I love the Whimsical Stitches book. There's a lot of different types of patterns in the book. There's very easy patterns. There's slightly more advanced patterns. So whoever was going to receive the book to choose a pattern from, there was going to be something for everyone in this book. So the idea was I start. So I choose one of the patterns, I make it, and then I ship the book off to a next person, wherever they are in the world. Now the idea, I tend to come up with these crazy collab ideas, and I didn't even think this was going to work. I was worried that I wouldn't even get enough participants sort of raising their hands saying, yes, I would be happy to receive the book and I'll send it on to the next person, because obviously it involves a cost to the person receiving, because they will have to, out of their own pocket, send the book to the next person. So I bought two just in case, but I thought if I can only fill up one book. So with me making the first pattern, there was 26 remaining patterns in the book. So I was able to start with one, and 26 other people would have been able to receive the book, make a pattern, and send it back to me. Not only did I want people to join in who would receive the physical book, but anyone who had access to this book, because this is not a new book. It's been around for a number of years. So I knew a fair amount of people would have this book already in their libraries. So I thought anyone else wants to join in, I will gather those photos. So whatever project was chosen along the way, anyone could join in, make that pattern, and I was going to collect the photos and put it onto a journal and call it the Hello From pages. So wherever anyone is in the world, they can send me a photo of the specific project that was chosen. I will pop it onto a page and mention their name and the country that they are from. So this was the crazy idea that I had. Didn't know if it was going to work at all. Just announced it one day on the channel, and the reaction was mind-blowing. I couldn't believe how many people raised their hands, was willing to jump on this crazy idea that I had. We had different YouTube channels who put their hands up and said they would love to receive the book. I had a large, the majority of people who received the book in the end were subscribers of my channel. So people who's been with me for a while, they put up their hands. So within 3 days of announcing this crazy idea, I had filled both of the books with recipients to join in to receive the book. In the end, I had to split the people who was going to receive the book between only one book going to the United States, because I had so many. The majority of my viewers or subscribers on the channel are from the United States. So one entire book was just going to circulate the US, and then the second book was going to go in all countries, other countries around the world. We started in, I'm in Denmark, so we started, the next person was in Luxembourg, we had Portugal, Germany, another person in Denmark, we had Norway, UK, Canada, New Zealand, Australia. So a number of countries, and even a bigger variety of countries of people who joined in throughout this process. And you can go and have a look at the journal. I will pop a link in my description box below. and just scroll through and have a look at the amount of countries, towns, cities, states that people have been joining in from. It has been incredible. So officially, I posted 2 books out. Now this is the United States book. It moved a little quickly because it was within one country. Obviously, if you ship around the world between countries, it does take a little longer. So our international book still has about 6 people left to receive it. Then I will receive that book back as well. But the United States book is back in my hands this past week. Now today is Sunday, the 30th of March. And I posted this book out on the 20th of June 2024. So about 9 months later, 26 different people in the United States having had this book in their hands. I have now received it back. And when I opened this parcel during last week when I received it, I was so emotional because this was a challenge that I did not think was going to work. I was hoping it was going to work because I always come up with these crazy ideas. But this one was different because I had to put my absolute trust in the 26 people who was going to receive the book. I had to trust they would make a project and ship it off to the next person. And at times I got extremely stressed, I will not lie. I'm still a little stressed with the international book still doing the rounds. But it has been amazing. I could not believe the amount of passion that everyone had for this project. So many people that have made, along with me, all of the projects in the book. It was incredible. So what we'll do is, this is just sort of the intro of what this book is all about. I'm going to flip the camera. I will show you a little bit behind the scenes, what it looked like every time I got a photo, how I organized the journal on Canva every time I posted it, and then I'll put the camera down in a view that we can page through the book and have a look at every page where the recipient filled in their quote or decorated the page. So one of the things, if you received the book, if you were one of the 26 recipients, they each not only had to choose a different project whenever they got the book, they also had to write a quote or a Bible verse or whatever they wanted. They had to decorate the page of the specific project they chose. This way, I have a little memory of every single person who physically had this book and made a project from it. So it is, like I say, I got so emotional paging through this book. I cannot believe that something like this actually worked. So if you have not participated yet in this massive collab, it is still going on. As I say, our international book is still doing the rounds. So if you have access to the Whimsical Stitches book, you are more than welcome to make any of the projects, because between the 2 books, all the projects have now been chosen. You can make any project. Send a photo to me. My email address is always linked in the description box of my videos. Send me a photo. Tell me which town and which country you are from, and I will post your photo in our journal. All right, you guys, I'm going to flip the camera, give you a very quick little behind the scenes, and then we will page through this book. So the first thing I wanted to show you is how I organized the list of all the participants receiving the physical book. So people could email me just after I announced the collab, and I just randomly put their names on a list. Well, what I did try to do is keep, for instance, here you will see the international list. I did try to keep everyone that was within the EU together. Then we went over to the UK. They were quite a few recipients in the UK. Then Canada, they had quite a few. Then we have Michelle in New Zealand and a few people in Australia. For the United States, I did organize the different states together. Now, I didn't check if one state was right next to another state or if it was close to another state. that I did not check. But I did do, if there were more than one person from California or from Texas, they were grouped together. So this was what the list looked like. And then on this side, if it was sent to the person, I would mark it. And as soon as they received the book, I would also mark it, and I would put their choice. Whatever they decided to make from the book, I would then keep track of it on this side. So this is just a tiny behind the scenes of how I kept track of who was to receive it next. I'm going to slowly just slide the camera this side. Now you won't be able to see everything, but just a quick view of my emails. Now this was something I must tell you to keep track of. You can't see this number, but it is nearly 500 emails, separate emails. That's apart from the threads within an email. So hundreds of emails that I went through. Every time someone would send me an email with their project, I would save it in a specific folder. I call it Amigurumi World Tour. Then I would download their photo, and I have got an entire folder here called Amigurumi World Tour. These are our Hello From pages, and every time someone selected a project, I would mark which number project it was, and if it was US or international. So you would, for instance, see Jellyfish International, Macarons US, Cookies International, Pie International, and so on and so on. And then whenever anyone else made the project and sent me their photo, I would save it in the list within the folder of that project. I would also number it so that I can keep track of how many people actually made that specific project. So the jellyfish, 41 people made the jellyfish. I think at the moment our whale, because that was the project I made and that kicked off the whole collab, that I think is still, it's also 41. So our jellyfish and our whale is the highest makes at the moment. You can see, for instance, the macarons, we're on 24. Let's see some of the other ones. The octo. Okay, this was the second time the octo was chosen. It was first chosen by someone in the international. So here we have the international. 12 people have made the octo. So anytime any of you sent me an email with your photo, I would download it, I would rename it with your name and where you are from. So when I uploaded it then onto Canva, now I'm going to slide you over again. So I work on two different screens. So I actually have two versions of the journal because it's too big actually for Canva to manage. So I had to split it at one stage. So here we are, the first one. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I hope you can see it. So I was the first one. I completed my whale on the 16th of June. And then every time I received a project, here you can see I would add it into the journal, put your name and your state or your town and your country. And whenever someone else or the next recipient of the book picked a project, they would get a page added with their name, the date when they let me know that they completed their project, where they are from, and which project they selected. A lot of the times I also received a photo of their decorated page, and I would include it on their project page as well. So this is our entire journal. I think in total it's close to like 90 pages if I combine it. So what happens every time when I've got a few projects included in our journal, I have to download it as a PDF. Then, because it's so big with so many photos, I've got to resize it, and then I've got to merge the two documents before I can upload it onto my, let me just show you, onto the blog. So I will put a link to the blog, and if you go to Craftably Corner on my blog, Here we have the Amigurumi World Tour. And I think the last time I updated the journal was about a week ago. So we are on version number 57. So I will probably, after this video, upload, because I did receive a few photos within the week, I will upload version number 58. And here we can see the last time I uploaded, we were on 90 pages. So you can either just, if you're on, I think, a tablet or your computer, you'll be able to scroll through the journal right on the screen. But if you view it on a mobile device, you might have to download it and view it from your documents. But here is our entire journal up to about a week ago. So this is just a quick little behind the scenes of how it worked every time I got an email, every time someone selected a project, and every time I upload the journal onto my blog. So I'm going to now flip the camera to show you the actual book, and every page that was completed, decorated by each of the variant recipients. Alright, you guys, and here it is, the wonderful, wonderful Whimsical Stitches World Tour book back in my hands. I cannot tell you what this means to me, being part of this fantastic community who just embraces crazy collab ideas. So let's page through. I won't obviously show you the patterns, but just to let you have a look at what every person wrote who received the book and who chose a project. So this beautiful bookmark was in there. I'm not sure exactly who put it in. So whoever put it in here, please drop a comment down below. Let me know who this beautiful bookmark is from. But it says, a cover is not a book. This was a little instruction pamphlet. So just a few guidelines that I put on here for anyone who received the book. So right in the front, the first thing was that people had to mark off. And as I say, I think this is a little bit where the confusion came in. The daisy was actually the last project. So our book doesn't have a quote at the daisy, but it does have one at the sunflower. And we do have a second quote for the duck. So everyone who received the book marked off their project. All right, there's nothing in the front. First project. This quote was from Kelly, and she wrote, "Be happy in the moment, that's enough. Each moment is all we need, not more." Saint Mother Teresa. Beautiful quote. Cute little sticker, little puffy sticker. Here's another one, very, very sweet. Then this one from Kathleen. She did the succulent planter. Just one small positive thought in the morning can change your whole day. From the Dalai Lama. Next, the sunflower. Now, the sunflower was selected by Cheryl, I believe. I don't think she put her name here, but I think it is Cheryl from Curly Moose Crochets. Now, anyone who received the book who has a YouTube channel that I'm aware of, I will list their YouTube channels in my description box below as well. But this is the quote from Cheryl. "You are never too old to set another goal or dream a new dream." C.S. Lewis. Then we have this one from Stephanie. "It's not having what you want, it's wanting what you've got." And this is a lyric by the song from Sheryl Crow, "Soak Up the Sun." And then she has a nice Bible verse here. "Delight yourself in the Lord." Psalms 7 verse 9. Very, very sweet. I like this little, it looks like a stamp. Very nice. Beautiful little magnetic bookmark. We have got, this one was from Leslie. She wrote, "We must not be content only to see things as they are. We must have the vision, faith, and hope to see what things can and must become." Sister, I don't know if I'm reading this correctly, Generose Gervais. Very, very nice. Beautiful little textured little bird sticker in there. Next, the Octo, selected by Charlotte. Take the hand that you're given and shoot the moon, from Jump 5. Charlotte, she's in Nashville, but she writes here originally from where in, I'm not sure what that says, somewhere in the UK. So that's interesting that we have some expats in different countries that joined in as well. Very, very fun to know. Here we have Nick. Now, Nick, she recently started a YouTube channel, Antisocial Auntie. As I say, I will link all the YouTube channels in the description box. She wrote, follow your enthusiasm. It's something I've always believed in. Find those parts of your life you enjoy the most. Do what you enjoy doing, from Jim Henson. I love this quote. This is absolutely the motto that I go by for the last few years. And then she also wrote here, it's the rough side of the mountain that's the easiest to climb. The smooth side doesn't have anything for you to hang on to. Next, we've got the whale. This was my quote. I started with the whale. No matter what people tell you, words and ideas can change the world, by Robin Williams. This was from my friend Caroline. Everything you love will probably be lost, but in the end, love will return in another way. Embrace the change. It's inevitable for growth. Together we can shift pain into wonder and love, but it is up to us to consciously and intentionally create that connection. From Franz Kafka. Caroline, the bunny queen, with her very, very cute little bunny stamp. Next one, I think it is the cow. This is from my friend Cindy from the Rumi Mill. If you see someone without a smile, give them yours. Quote by Dolly Parton. Next, we have this quote from Annie. She was the first US person to do the duck. Be silly, be fun, be different, be crazy, be you. Because life is too short to be anything but happy. Very, very sweet. I love these little foam stickers. Cute little cat. Then our last recipient, Claudia. The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Psalms 19, verse 1. Very, very nice verse. Then we have Nova from Nova Nun Creations. I see now that the circumstances of one's birth are irrelevant. It is what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. And she has got some lovely, now she went all out also with the decorating, a lot of stickers, washi tape. Here we've got from Vicky. Once you replace negative thoughts with positive ones, you'll start having positive results. From Willie Nelson. Really, really sweet. Love these stickers. Then, very sweet little stitch marker that was added to the top of this page. This is from Natalia. This too shall pass. Now, Medalia, I am struggling a little bit with your handwriting. It's very beautiful. Ingredients for your cookies. Hope, joy, love in what you do. Oh, that's very, very, very sweet. But next, we've got from Mina. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4. I pray we all love and receive love in return in abundance. We have Robin. Now, Robin, she was the first one actually to receive the book in the US. Great things are not done by impulse, but by a series of small things brought together. Vincent van Gogh. And she's known as Crochet Jolly on Instagram. This one, again, it was a split pattern. So there's a few of the pages where just to ensure that we could have as many people as possible join in, that I did split. So the cup or the mug was one choice, the donuts was a second choice, and that is why we have 2 quotes on this page. So Donna, she did the little mug. When we face trials in life, there is comfort in knowing God causes all things to work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. Romans 8, verse 28. And then Sandra, she had the donuts. You are you, that is truer than true. There is no one alive who is youer than you. Next, from Season, she did the little pie. Count your blessings and count your stitches. True words for all of us crocheters. Then also here at the bottom, the most important ingredient that goes into a pie is the love that goes into making it. From Sarah Weeks. I love it. And look at this cute little, Grogu, this little Grogu. To the fruit and veg. Here we've got Elena. She wrote, why fit in when you were born to stand out? Dr. Zeus. The berries, this is by my friend Bonnie, at Strawberry Bonnie Crochets. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. Proverbs 31, verse 19. All of these beautiful little strawberry shortcake stickers. There's one there, there's another one there. There's a few more. Absolutely love it. Then from Nancy, she wrote, inheritance is something you leave behind for someone. A legacy is something you leave behind in someone. Really, really, really beautiful. Then we've got the onion from Bonnie. Her quote, all of us at some time or another need help. Whether we're giving it or receiving help, each one of us has something valuable to bring to this world. That's one of the things that connects us as neighbors. In our own way, each one of us is a giver and a receiver. From Mr. Rogers. And she had put these beautiful little stickers on. Then the peach by Teresa. There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. By Bob Ross. The pineapple. Now I can't remember who selected the pineapple. I don't think there's a name on here. Be like a pineapple. Stand tall, wear a crown, and be sweet on the inside. And then on this side it says, oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the yarn is so delightful. And since we've got no place to go, another row, another row, another row. That is very, very cute. And a lot of these cute little puffy stickers. And then this one, Frida, have a sunshine day. So this is the very last project in the book, if I'm not mistaken. That is it. Our beautiful, beautiful US book. As I said, I'm just as excited for our international book to arrive back in Denmark. But I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of this book that has traveled several thousands and thousands of miles from Denmark to the US, all the way back to Denmark. So many people that have had this book in their hands and left a little bit of themselves inside this book. Absolutely love it. All right, you guys, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed sitting with me, paging through this fantastic book. I have been paging through it many times throughout the last few days. I'm so glad to have shared it with you. I'm so glad that so many of you have joined in, that you are still joining in, and that you have just embraced this crazy idea. Believe me, friends, there are many more crazy ideas in our crocheting futures. But like I say, this is part 1. I hope to be back very soon with part 2 and our international book, a little page through that one. But that's it for this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me this week. You guys know I love hanging out with you. Chat to me in the comments. Let me know what you are busy with. Let me know if there are any of the projects that you still want to try from our book. You are more than welcome to. The international book is doing the rounds. Our Amigurumi World Tour is still continuing for the moment. So I look forward to hearing from you guys very, very soon. For now, until I see you in the next video, as always, you guys, stay safe and stay crafty.